This is a walkthrough of the Inkbird ITC-310T-B revision, which as far as I can tell is the revision for 2017. I decided to put this video together because the documentation is really confusing, at least for me, and the only walkthroughs I could find were on Homebrew Talk and YouTube for older versions. So this is the unit. You can see that it's the same form factor as the 308, which is the simple controller put out by Inkbird. It's a dual relay device with receptacles for both cooling and heating. This allows you to plug in a fermentation chamber and a heating unit, firm wrap, that sort of thing, and maintain temperatures, adjust temperatures. It has a very long temperature probe cable with a very sturdy probe at the end. To reset the device, you would hold down the down button and plug it in, but since I've already used this device, I'm just going to go right into the settings menu. You do that by holding set for 3 seconds, and the first thing you're going to see is the temperature setting. This is your base or starting temp setting. If you're using the controller to just maintain a single temp, you can set it here. I'm going to set it for 62 degrees, which is the current temperature of my California Common, which, although it's a lager, ferments at a higher temp. The next setting is heating differential, which is the margin between your preferred temperature and the actual temperature. So if you set this at 62 degrees and your heating differential is 3 degrees, the temp could rise to 65 without kicking on the cooler. And cooling differential is the same, it's just the margin that would occur before the heater kicked in. Next is the alarm high and alarm low limits. If the temp measured by the probe goes above or below the limits, an annoying alarm will sound, and you can silence this alarm by hitting the set button. In this case, I'm setting high for 80 and low for 45. Next is the compressor delay setting, which can be set from 0 to 10 minutes. This delays turning on the compressor when the measured temp plus the cooling differential is met. I usually leave this at 0. Next is calibration. This allows you to change the calibrated temperature of the unit. I don't know how accurate the device is as shipped, and I don't know if these drift over time. I'm going to leave mine at 0 for now. And here you can set Celsius or Fahrenheit depending on your needs. Next is a TR setting. This is your timer method, and this is where the big differences begin between the 310 and the 308. The TR setting for 0 is just a simple controller like the 308 and just maintains a set temperature for an indefinite period of time. TR1 is for continuous mode, which, if I understand correctly, adjusts the temperature up or down for a set period of time and counts the entire period of time, no matter if you're at the exact temperature or something in between. TR2, on the other hand, is target mode. This allows you to set temperatures for durations, and only the time that the temperature is at the preferred temperature will the timer run. So if you set it step 1 at 30 degrees and step 2 at 40, only the times that it's at 30 or 40 will the timer run. This can get confusing, so check the manual. There are several diagrams in there. I'm going to go with 1 because I'm doing a long, slow rise for my beer. Next we have time unit, unit time, whatever. You have minutes, hours, and days. So the funky character is minutes, M, then you have hours and days. I'm going to go with days in my case for the fermentation. Next you have MD. This is the number of cycles that you want the entire program to run. This can be from 1 to 999. I'm going to just go with 1 in my case since I only want this cycle to run over a period of time once. The next setting is auto. Auto defines whether you lose your settings and the current progress of your settings or keep them after the power goes out. Set this to 1, unlike I'm doing in the video. The next part is stages. Stages are how many times you can raise and lower the temperature. This device supports 12 different steps. I'm starting my beer at 62 degrees and raising it 1 degree every couple of days, stopping at 68 for 5 days for a rest, then crashing at 50. This is 7 steps. SST is starting stage. Which stage do you want to start at? I'm going to start at the first stage. You could obviously choose a different one. So, stage 1, this is going to be your temperature. What do I want my first stage temperature to be? I'm going to choose 63 degrees, since that is the next temp I want to hit in my fermentation. What's the duration? How long? H01. is for your stage 1 duration. I'm going to choose 2, and if you remember, it's in days. The next is end of stage alarm or action. So this will be an alarm that'll go off when this stage completes, or the alarm will go off and it will wait for you to press a button, or it will just wait for you to press a button before it turns itself off. This is all in the manual. Finally, we'll start going through the whole thing. So stage 02 temp is going to be 64 degrees. This will be the next slow increase that I'll do, which will take another 2 days. And no alarm, stage 3, and I apologize, I'm just going to go through this and you can fast forward if you want. Every stage has a duration and whether you want an alarm. My goal here is a free, slow rise going from 62 degrees to 68 degrees for a diacetyl rest, and then once I've had 68 for 5 days, I'm going to crash it just down to 50 and hold that for 21 days, more or less loggering it for that period. I could put another stage in that crashes at the 32 and I could find the beer at that point, whatever, that's up to you. So here is the diacetyl rest, which we're going to set for 5 days duration. And again, no alarm. And then stage 7, I'm going to crash it. And normally I would find it towards the end at this point before packaging. And I'm going to set this for 21 days. Now this would change if you chose hours or minutes as your unit of measure, or your time unit. And once you see the HD, you're done. Press and hold the set button for 3 seconds and you've programmed your 310. You can see the cooling lights come on because it's measuring the ambient air temperature in my office. Outside, we see my fermentation chamber with 2 5-gallon carboys of California Common steam beer fermenting. I've run the probe down between the carboy and some insulation to measure the temperature at the carboy. And you could also obviously measure ambient air temperature in the ferm chamber. I've also got a heating unit and an EvaDry 500 for wicking moisture away. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments or catch me on Home Brew Talk. Thanks for watching.